Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for standing by for the second quarter 2025 earnings conference call for VNET Group Inc. After the management's prepared remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. Please note the Chinese line is in listen-only mode. If you wish to ask questions, please dial in through the English line. Participants from our management include Mr. Zhu Ma, Rotating President, Mr. Kenyu Wang, Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Xiangling Liu, Head of Investor Relations of the company. Please note that today's conference call is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to the first speaker today, Ms. Xiangling Liu. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Operator. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second quarter 2025 earnings conference call. Our earnings release was distributed earlier today, and you can find a copy on our website as well as on newswire services. Please note that today's call will contain forward-looking statements made under the safe harbor provisions of the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Forward-looking statements are subject to risks and uncertainties that may cause actual results to differ materially from our current expectations. For detailed discussions of these risks and uncertainties, please refer to our latest annual report and other documents filed with the SEC. VNET does not undertake any obligations to update any forward-looking statements except as required under applicable laws. Please also note that VNET's earnings press release and this conference call include the disclosure of unaudited GAAP and non-GAAP financial matters. VNET's earnings press release contains reconciliation of the unaudited non-GAAP matters to the unaudited GAAP matters. A summary presentation, which we will refer to during this conference call, can be viewed and downloaded from our IR website at ir.vnet.com. Next, I'd like to alert you that we will be utilizing text-to-speech technology powered by Neuralink.ai to deliver this quarter's prepared remarks by Mr. Zhu Ma, our Rotating President, and Mr. Kenyu Wang, our CFO. The management team will join the Q&A session in person. Additionally, this conference is being recorded. A webcast of this conference call will also be available on our IR website at ir.vnet.com. Now let's get started with today's presentation. Mr. Ma, please go ahead.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our call today. I'll start with an overview of our major accomplishments during the second quarter of 2025. We delivered strong quarterly results thanks to continued effective strategic execution. On the operational side, our wholesale IDC business maintained its significant growth momentum, supported by our customers' fast move in pace. As of June 30, 2025, our wholesale capacity in service grew by 17.5% quarter-over-quarter to 674 megawatts, an increase of around 101 megawatts. Wholesale capacity utilized by customers rose by 17% quarter-over-quarter to 511 megawatts, an increase of around 74 megawatts, while the utilization rate was stable at 75.9%, reflecting a fast move-in pace in our wholesale data centers. Our retail IDC business continued to progress smoothly, supported by growing AI-driven demand from customers. Both our high-quality wholesale and retail IDC services continue to attract customers from various industries in the second quarter. I'll dig into those details on the next slide. On the financial side, both our revenues and adjusted EBITDA maintained solid growth. Specifically, our total net revenues increased by 22.1% year-over-year to RMB 2.43 billion for the second quarter. Notably, wholesale revenues reached RMB 854 million for the quarter, representing impressive year-over-year growth of 112.5%. Fueled by the rapid growth of our wholesale IDC business, our adjusted EBITDA for the second quarter also increased by 27.7% year-over-year to RMB 732 million, with an adjusted EBITDA margin of 30.1%, up 1.3 percentage points year-over-year. Moving on to our new order wins on slide 5. In the second quarter, driven by growing demand from customers for intelligent deployment, we secured a combined capacity of around 4 megawatts in retail orders from customers in the IT services, internet, AIoT, and financial services sectors. These orders span multiple retail data centers in the Greater Beijing area, the Yangtze River Delta, the Greater Bay Area, and other regions. Furthermore, we recently won a 20-megawatt wholesale order from a leading cloud services provider for the project we operate in Hebei Province with our joint venture partner. As AI permeates every aspect of the world, new growth opportunities for data centers, the bedrock of AI infrastructure, continue to emerge. AI-driven demand remains especially robust in China, including training and inference demand from customers across multiple industries conducting intelligent deployments. To capture these opportunities and strengthen our competitiveness, we unveiled our Hyperscale 2.0 framework for the future of our AIDC development at our Investor Day in Ulanqab in late June. We also outlined our blueprint for growing the capacity of our data center assets under management to 10 gigawatts by 2036. Driven by the proliferation of AI, the data center industry's development has reached an inflection point where traditional IDCs are shifting to AIDCs to meet dynamic market demand. In parallel, data centers' business model is evolving from simply providing project-based capacity delivery to serving as a platform offering comprehensive AIDC solutions. As a pioneer in AIDC development with strong fundamentals and deep industry know-how, VNET is poised to shape this trend through our Hyperscale 2.0 framework. Our innovative technologies enable us to construct high-quality, flexible AIDCs faster, ensuring rapid deliveries to meet customer needs. For example, our building standardization technology utilizes standardized modules as data centers' core building units, allowing us to rapidly construct data centers tailored to diverse customer needs. This method cuts construction cycles by one-third compared to traditional construction methods. Additionally, our modular data center technology integrates various functions, including power supply systems, cooling systems, etc., into separate functional modules. These modules are manufactured and pre-tested in factories and shipped to data center sites for installation, which significantly enhances our installation efficiency. They can also be swapped out, allowing us to selectively upgrade only specific modules instead of entire systems, reducing improvement costs and extending data centers' life cycles. By leveraging these technologies, we can build quickly and combine modules with different functions flexibly to meet customers' specific requirements, ensuring fast capacity delivery to our customers. We believe these innovations position us as a front-runner in the IDC industry going forward. Execution of our Hyperscale 2.0 framework is already underway, starting in Inner Mongolia, Hebei Province, and Beijing, where we plan to establish data center hubs encompassing megawatt-scale cabinets, 100-megawatt-scale buildings, and gigawatt-scale campuses. Ultimately, as I mentioned earlier, we aim to manage a 10-gigawatt integrated data center asset cluster by 2036 that seamlessly combines computing power and energy management across multiple campuses, empowering us to shape the future development of AIDC solutions. Now, let's delve into our business updates, starting with our wholesale business on slide 8. Our wholesale business continued to grow rapidly, with capacity in service increasing by around 101 megawatts quarter-over-quarter to 674 megawatts, and utilization rate remaining stable at 75.9%, mainly attributable to our strong delivery capabilities at our NOR Campus 01 and faster than expected move-ins at our NOR Campus 01 and EJS Campus 03. Our mature capacity utilization rate also reached 94.6%, a relatively high level. We have a clear growth path for our wholesale data center capacity. Let's move on to slide 9. Our overall wholesale data center capacity maintained its growth trajectory in the second quarter. Our capacity under construction was around 326 megawatts, with a pre-commitment rate for capacity under construction of 55.2% as of the end of June. Capacity held for short-term future development was around 374 megawatts, and capacity held for long-term future development was around 418 megawatts, as we remain confident in the long-term growth potential of AI-driven demand. Moving to our retail IDC business on slide 10, our retail business continued to progress smoothly in the second quarter. Retail capacity in service was 52,131 cabinets, with the utilization rate increasing slightly to 63.9% as of the end of June. MRR per retail cabinet increased to RMB 8,915 this quarter. Turning to our delivery plan on slide 11, with our robust and efficient delivery capabilities, we successfully delivered a total of around 188 megawatts in the first half of 2025. We currently have 8 data centers under construction, with 6 in the Greater Beijing area and 2 in the Yangtze River Delta. We plan to deliver around 326 megawatts of capacity over the next 12 months, or around 227 megawatts during the second half of 2025 and around 99 megawatts during the first half of 2026. This ambitious delivery plan reflects strong demand from our customers and our outstanding delivery prowess. Now turning to our non-IDC business, a key component of our business, DiYian further expanded its customer base by winning new customers in the consulting and intelligent driving industries for its premium dedicated internet services, VPN services, IDC services, and cloud services. In conclusion, our robust second quarter results further validate our core strengths and effective strategic execution. Looking ahead, we will continue to sharpen our competitive advantages with faster deliveries and consistently reliable IDC services as we embark on our ambitious Hyperscale 2.0 framework to build greener, more intelligent data centers for the AI era. And as always, we will remain committed to driving innovation and fostering industry development as we grow, delivering value to all of our stakeholders. Now, I will turn the call over to our CFO, Qiyu, for further discussion of our operating and financial performance. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. Before we start the detailed discussion of our second quarter performance, please note that, unless otherwise stated, all the financials we present today are for the second quarter of 2025 and are in renminbi terms. Furthermore, unless otherwise specified, all the growth rates I am reviewing are on a year-over-year basis. Let's turn to slide 13. In the second quarter, we continued to pursue high-quality, high-margin business. Our total net revenues increased by 22.1% to RMB 2.43 billion, mainly driven by the rapid growth of our wholesale business. Our adjusted cash gross profit rose by 34.9% to RMB 1.06 billion, while our adjusted EBITDA also grew year-over-year by 27.7% to RMB 732.5 million. Let's look more closely at our top line. As you can see on slide 14, in the second quarter, wholesale revenues, our key revenue growth driver, increased significantly by 112.5% to RMB 854.1 million, mainly attributable to sales at the NOR Campus 01 and EJS Campus 03. Retail revenues continue to account for the largest part of our total net revenues, reaching RMB 959 million for the second quarter. Our non-IDC business revenues were RMB 621 million for the second quarter. During the second quarter, we maintained solid margins thanks to our continuous efforts to enhance overall efficiency. As shown on slide 15, our adjusted cash gross margins improved to 43.6% from 39.5% in the same period last year. Our adjusted EBITDA margin rose to 30.1% compared with 28.8% in the same period last year. Moving on to liquidity. On slide 16, we maintained robust and healthy liquidity, bolstered by a net operating cash inflow of RMB 366.6 million during the second quarter, bringing the net operating cash flow for the first half of the year to RMB 562.3 million. Our cash positions remained solid, with total cash and cash equivalents, restricted cash, and short-term investments reaching RMB 4.66 billion as of June 30, 2025. Next, let's take a look at our debt structure on slide 17. We maintained our prudent approach to debt management. As of June 30, 2025, our net debt to the trailing 12 months adjusted EBITDA ratio was 5.3, and total debt to the trailing 12 months adjusted EBITDA ratio was 6.4, both remaining at healthy levels. Also, our trailing 12 months adjusted EBITDA to interest coverage ratio was 6.9. We prioritize long-term debt maturity planning in our debt and strategic management to ensure the security of debt repayment. Additionally, the company's short and medium-term debt maturing in 2025 to 2027 comprises 44.1% of our total debt. Turning now to CapEx spending. As you can see on slide 18, for the first half of 2025, our CapEx was RMB 3.89 billion, with the majority allocated to the expansion of our wholesale IDC business. We still expect our CapEx for the full year 2025 to be in the range of RMB 10 billion and RMB 12 billion. The increase is mainly to support our planned delivery of 400 to 450 megawatts in 2025, or approximately 3 times 2024's total deliveries, and surpassing our total deliveries in the past 3 years combined. Furthermore, in late June, our board authorized a buyback program under which we may repurchase up to $50 million from time to time on the open market over the ensuing 12 months. The buyback program underscores our deep commitment to delivering value to shareholders and our confidence in VNET's future development and growth prospects. Now moving to our full-year guidance for 2025 on slide 19. As we announced in a press release in late June, we have increased our full-year revenue and adjusted EBITDA guidance, fueled by faster than anticipated move-ins among wholesale IDC customers and ongoing operational efficiency gains. We now expect total net revenues to be in the range of RMB 9.15 billion to RMB 9.35 billion, a year-over-year increase of 11% to 13%, and adjusted EBITDA to be in the range of RMB 2.76 billion to RMB 2.82 billion, representing a year-over-year increase of 14 to 16% if the RMB 87.7 million on disposal gain of EJS02 data center were excluded from the adjusted EBITDA calculation for 2024. The year-over-year growth would be 18 to 20%. Before I conclude, I'd like to briefly update you on our ESG efforts. We were pleased to receive an A grade, the highest rating, in the 2024 Supplier Engagement Assessment by the Carbon Disclosure Project. We were also recognized as a supplier engagement leader for our collaboration with supply chain partners on low-carbon technology R&D, enhancing our IDC operational energy efficiency and empowering our partners to save energy and reduce emissions. Looking ahead, we will remain steadfast in our pursuit of ESG excellence, embracing and promoting a green future. In summary, we maintained our business's vibrant momentum with strong financial results during the second quarter, supported by our effective dual-core strategy and new Hyperscale 2.0 framework. We're well positioned to lead the AIDC transformation, capturing surging AI-driven opportunities, and delivering sustainable, long-term value for all stakeholders. This concludes our prepared remarks for today. We are now ready to take questions.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you wish to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. For the benefit of all participants on today's call, Please ask your question to management in English and then repeat in Chinese. Your first question comes from Tom Tang with Morgan Stanley.
Thanks, management, for the opportunity to ask questions. And first of all, congratulations on a very strong quarterly result, especially on the wholesale business. So my question is mainly about the future demand and orders. So we noticed that NVIDIA has regained its permission to ship their new chipsets to China again last month. So just wondering, based on our communication with our big customers, what is our current expectation of their future demand and the pattern of their order tendering? Thank you. 我来简单的翻译一下，就是感谢管理层提问的机会啊。首先就是非常恭喜公司有一个非常强劲的业绩，尤其是在批发业务这里。我的问题主要是关于客户未来需求和订单的。我们看到上个月英伟达的芯片也重新获得了出口的许可，所以想请教一下，结合我们和客户的一些沟通，我们现在对未来的一个需求以及招标的节奏是一个什么样的看法？感谢。
好，谢谢您的提问，我来回答您这个问题。就像这个您看到的一样，就是最近的市场呢，非常的这个活跃。那么我们也根据第三方的行业需求报告也看到，就是在数字经济比较活跃的大陆的地区呢，比方说在环北京地区和长三角地区，确实得益于这个 AI 的持续的这个需求，那么数据中心的供需关系呢，较之前呢也得到了很大的改善。
Thank you for your question. And now the market is relatively active. And according to the report of the third-party institutions, we find that in the regions where the digital economy is relatively active, for example, in the Greater Beijing area and in the Yangtze River Delta, I think the AI demand is relatively strong, and also the relation between supply and demand has improved a lot.
那涉及到您提到的关于后续的大客户的一些招标和需求情况呢，您知道我们今年的交付计划超过了400兆瓦，是比较大的，而新的订单呢，一般呢都要在6个月左右就要交付，所以呢，我们现在呢非常关注在下半年客户会陆续释放出来的一些需求，特别是9月份前后释放出来的需求，我们会尽可能的多拿到这一部分的订单。
And your question is also mentioned about the bidding and also the demand for the big client. Since you also have noticed that this year our delivery plan is over 400 megawatts, it is relatively large, and also the new orders should be delivered in 6 months. So we will pay more attention to the demand released around September.
那补充一句呢，就是除了我们刚刚披露的有一个20兆瓦的一个基地型业务的新订单之外，我们目前呢也在和潜在的需求呢在紧密的沟通，这个需求呢仍然是以 AI 需求为主的。谢谢。
So in addition to the 20 megawatt wholesale business, I think we are also paying a lot of attention to the potential demand, and we are also communicating for this potential demand. I think most of them are highly relevant to the AI.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from Edison Lee with Jefferies.
Oh, hi. Yeah, thank you for taking my questions. I have 2, right? Number 1, can you update us on the build out of wind power in Yulantab, and when they will actually come into effect, and how that's going to impact the revenue and also the margin of the company? Number 2, can you comment on your MSR on wholesale, because it seems that your MSR or your MRR on the wholesale in the second quarter is actually up on a year-on-year basis. So maybe if you can explain a little bit what is driving that unit price, that would be great. 感谢提问的机会哈，我有2个问题。第一个问题就是我想知道其实现在乌兰察布这个风电的建设的节奏是什么样，然后如果这个风电建完之后，其实对于公司的收入跟EBITDA margin 其实有什么影响？ 第二个问题就是我看到第二季度其实这个批发这一块呢，单价好像有点上升，能讲一下其实背后的驱动因素是什么吗？谢谢。
好的，谢谢Edison， 我来回答你的2个问题。我们乌兰察布的风电现在已经开工了，那我们预计在今年年底或者明年的年初应该可以开始送电。这一部分的电费，它这一部分呢是一个对我们来说还是一个新的尝试，所以呢目前我们还没办法非常仔细的预测对我们 P&L 的影响，但总的来说肯定是会对我们项目的 IR 有一个积极正向的影响。那等我们真正送电以后，我们经过测算以后才能给您这个数据。
I think now the wind power project in Ulan-Cap is well underway, and I think by the end of this year and also in the beginning of next year, it will going to deliver power. I think this is relatively a new trial for us, so we cannot expect its impact on our P&L. However, I think it will mainly deliver positive impact on our IR. So I think the detailed statistics and the figures will be offered when it begins to deliver power.
对，您提到的第2个问题，其实是2方面哈。第一方面，从目前这个 wholesale 的市场目前价格，我们感觉相对是比较平稳的啊。那目前您看到我们的这个 MSR 有一些上涨呢，主要是季节的原因，因为有一些电费收入的增加，而且我们本季度呢批发有一些一次性的收入啊，所以其实不是这个它是一个正常的一个变化啊。
So for the second question, I think it's mainly relevant. It has 2 factors. The first one is I think the wholesale price is relatively very stable, and you also mentioned that the improvement in the MSR. I think it's due mainly due to the seasonal factors because of the increase in the revenue from the electricity bills, and also in this quarter we have the one-off income.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from Daley Li with BofA Securities.
Hi, management. Thanks for taking my question. I have 2 questions here. The first one is regarding our gross margin. Our adjusted gross margin looks, quite healthy growth and improvement. And for our gap level gross margin, if we look at quote unquote, it seems dropped a little bit. And what's the reason behind this? And how do you think the future normalized gross profit margin? My second question about the new financing channel, the REITs. Could you please update us on the progress of the private REITs and the C REITs going forward? 好的，谢谢管理层接受我的提问。首先恭喜公司非常强劲的业绩啊。这边有2个问题，第一个是关于我们这个毛利率的，想问一下我们2季度环比的这毛利率略微下跌的原因是什么？当然我们调整后的这个确实是一个非常好的一个同比增长的一个趋势啊。是这里面比如说折旧是因为折旧原因还是其他原因？未来的话，稳态的这个毛利率会在什么水平？第2个问题是关于我们这个融资渠道的，关于REITs 这边，可否更新一下咱们这边私募 REITs 还有这个 C REITs 未来的一个这个进展还有时间表？好，谢谢。
好，谢谢，我来回答你的2个问题啊，就是正如你说的，就毛利率的变化实际上是受我们固定资产转顾然后折旧计提的这个时间点的影响啊，所以它各个季度之间会有一定的波动。那如果考虑现金毛利的话呢，就剔除一些季节性的因素，是一个平稳上升的一个趋势。
Thank you for your question. For the changes in the GP margin, I think it's affected by the timing of turning the CID into PPE and also the depreciation. So there can be some seasonal factors that leads to the fluctuation. But if we exclude if we only consider the cash GP margin, I think it's still very on a healthy and a steady increase.
关于 REITs 的进展，就像年初说的哈，我们这几个 REITs 的项目都在很积极的推进。那现在我们有包括你说的公募 REITs， 还有正在推进的私募 REITs， 以及其他的几个类似的项目，现在有4到5个项目都在推进。今年我们也仍然维持通过各项的 REITs 在资产层面得到不少于20亿的净回款，这个目标也是不变的啊。我希望很快能给市场一些好的消息。
And also for the REITs project, we have been actively promoting the REITs projects. We have the public and also the private REITs, and I think we have 4 to 5. And also, as mentioned, this year through the REITs project, we hope to have a recovery of 2 billion.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from Timothy Zhao with Goldman Sachs.
Great. Thank you, management, for taking my question, and congrats on the very strong results. 2 questions here as well. First is regarding your full year guidance, as I'm pretty glad to see that you raised guidance actually 2 months ago. But after the very strong first half results, just wondering how management think about the second half outlook. So if my calculation is correct, I think toward the high end of your guidance, I think the second half growth implied only around single-digit growth. Just wondering how should we think about the second half outlook. Secondly is regarding the retail IDC business. As I see there's some revenue decline on this retail IDC revenue in the second quarter of this year versus a stronger first quarter. Just wondering what is the reason behind. 那我很快翻译一下。感谢管理层接受我的提问，也非常恭喜这个很强劲的业绩。那我第一条问题是关于我们今年全年的一个guidance 啊。那我也看到在2个月前，我们也把今年全年的 guidance 向上有所提高。但是在一个非常强劲的上半年的业绩之后，其实我倒算下来，可能下半年的增速大概就是在一个个位数的情况。那想请管理层分享一下，我们现在对于下半年整体的增速的预期是怎样？那第二条问题是关于我们的零售的 IDC 的业务的。那我看到2季度零售 IDC 的收入有一些略微的下滑，相对于1季度是一个比较强的收入的恢复。那想请管理层分享一下，我们看到背后的原因有哪些？谢谢。
好，我来回答一下你的问题啊，就是确实是正如你说的，我们即使是上调了 guidance 以后，目前的 guidance 仍然显得比较保守。我们的核心考量是，我们也在观察，如果这个客户的这个上架速度不受这个芯片供应的影响的情况下，那下半年我们 wholesale 的这个业务的上架仍然保持目前的一个速度。那假如是这样的话呢，我们可能会考虑进一步的再调增全年的 guidance。
Thank you for your question. You have mentioned, in spite of the upgrading in the guidance, I think the guidance for the second half of this year is still relatively conservative. So our consideration is that we needed to watch. We needed to watch and see that if the utilization speed and the pace of our customer or client will not be affected by the chips. So if so, and if our wholesale utilization business can maintain its speed, I think we can upgrade the guidance for the second half of the year.
对，你第二个说到零售 IDC 收入其实是正常，没有什么，我们没有看到稍微有一点下降，实际都是一些正常的波动。我们零售业务整体上是比较平稳的，而且我们预计后面应该还会有一定的这个涨幅。
And your second question is relatively to the IDC revenue for the retail business. Yes, there can be some slight decline, but I think it's still within the reasonable range. And I think the revenue for the retail IDC will maintain relatively stable and even some increase.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from Andy Yu with DBS.
Hi, thank you for taking my questions. Congratulations on solid result. I have a question regarding the second half outlook. Could management share some color on whether the rapid momentum of client looping can be sustained Also, do we expect that the impact of AI chip supply constraints could affect new orders or customer movements in the second half of 2025? Let me translate the question. 恭喜公司取得很好的业绩，我想问一个关于下半年展望的问题。管理层能不能分享一下客户上架加速的这个好势头能不能持续？另外，关于 AI 芯片供应的问题，我们会不会担心它对下半年的新订单和上架带来影响？谢谢。
好，谢谢您的问题，我来回答您这个问题。关于今年下半年的情况呢，我们参照上半年的我们比对来看，我们对下半年的发展呢仍然保持一定的非常乐观的一个分析和判断。同时呢，根据我们公司自己的上半年交付的任务，我们也分析了下半年市场对于客户对于订单的释放的这个大概的一个规律，所以我们会在下半年呢积极的争取获得这些订单。所以总的来说呢，我们保持了一个非常好的一个积极的一个乐观的一个判断。同时呢，对于客户的这个上架节奏呢，我们经过这么长时间来的服务于客户的经验，只要客户定下来订单以后，他们会上架的节奏会非常的快。好，
As for the outlook for the second half of this year, I think if we compare the second half with the first half of this year, I am relatively optimistic about the second half because if we take into account the delivery of the delivery in the first half of this year, and we will also closely follow the rules of the new orders unleashed by our client, and I think we will be very optimistic generally about the second half of this year. And also, as for the move-in pace of our client, I think according to the practice, once the order has been confirmed, we usually have very fast move-in pace.
关于正像您观察到的，就是关于 AI 芯片的一些供给情况，我们也在密切的关注。那么无论是英伟达的芯片还是国产的芯片，我们相信呢都会很快呢有个非常明朗的预期。同时，根据之前我们服务于客户的情况，我们已经深刻的体会到，客户的需求一旦确定，上架节奏会非常快。而这里来讲的话呢，在基地型的项目当中，我们已经反复的和核心客户确认，目前公司在手订单上架的节奏不会受影响。
And also as for the supply of the chips of AI, we will closely follow the companies like NVIDIA's chips and also the domestic chips. And I think the expectation will be very clear very soon. As also according to our experiences of serving our client or customers, I think once the order is confirmed, the move-in pace will be very fast. And also as for the wholesale business, we have also confirmed with the core client that the orders at hand for most of our clients will not be affected.
Next question, please.
Our next question comes from Sarah Wang with UBS.
Thank you for the opportunity to ask a question, and again, congratulations on the very solid results. I only have one question, is that management just mentioned that there could be potential new tenders from the customers. Do we expect similar customers and similar workload going forward, or there could be some change? 感谢提问的机会，那再次恭喜公司管理层取得非常强劲的业绩。就一个很快的问题，因为刚刚管理层提到可能之后客户会有更多释放出来的需求，那请问这个客户的这个profile 是跟之前比较像，或者说他们的这个需求的类型是训练还是推理，这个跟之前我们会预计会有一些变化吗？谢谢。
对，谢谢，我来回答您的一个问题。从目前来看的话呢，一个呢是我们现在的客户呢会逐步的释放他们的需求。从我们目前来看的话，对于这个需求侧来讲，它的这个业务的属性和对 AI 这方面的需求呢，目前看没有什么太大的变化。
So thank you for your question. I think our client will unleash their demand gradually. And from the demand side, I think in terms of the business, the demand for AI remain unchanged.
Next question, please.
Your next question comes from Mingran Li with CICC. Mingran Li, your line is open with CICC. Mingran Li, your line is open for your question. We will just pause for a moment to see if we'll have Mingran back in the queue. That does conclude our call and conference for today. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.